guys!
What's up?
Today in this video we're going to be reviewing and also talking about the VISEART, the Petit Pro 1 and also the Petit Pro 2. So if you want to know more about the first two Pro palettes that VISEART put out, keep on watching our video.
And here we go.
So each of these palettes will run you $30, but you are getting 8 shades. So there's that to think about.
They are smaller as well.
They are small. They're the tiniest pans, I believe, that VISEART sells. They also sell a step up from the Petit Pro palettes, and they have 6 shades, and they're called their Theory palettes. And then obviously they have their bigger palettes, which have 12. And it's the biggest pan size as well. So you do pay the least amount of money for a Petit Pro palette, but you do get 8 shades. If you're not worried about, you know, completely going through them really fast, that might make the price worth it to you.
I will say it's very travel friendly.
Yes, it's a very tight magnetic closure, and it also does have a little bit of a mirror. And if you did want to depot it out of the container, you definitely could, because there's little slots that make it kind of easy to just pop them out. They're not going to fall out.
They're not going to fall out, no, but they definitely make it so that way, like if you took like a spatula, you could easily get this out.
Right, and then if you bought more than, you know, one of these, you could put it into a bigger palette, which, you know, I wouldn't be attached to either, but I think it's just fine the way it is. Now I think we're going to talk about each palette by itself, colors, you know, blendability and all that stuff, just so if you're interested in this one more, you can, you know, listen to that, or if you're interested in the first one, or if you're just interested in general.
So we'll talk about the first one. This is the packaging.
All the Petit Pro palettes have the same packaging.
Just, you know, gently pull said tab open, and voila.
Beautiful.
Glorious, glorious, glorious.
That's the Petit Pro 1.
Has neutrally shades.
Has a row of matte and a row of shimmer.
I feel like it has very royalty shades, if you will.
And then the Petit Pro 2 has the same outer packaging.
There we go. Yeah. You just pull this nice little tab.
Again. And those are the shades for matte and for shimmer. So you can see the difference. Very different in my opinion.
They are very different. I was shocked that you went for that one and not this one, because these are usually colors that I feel like you go to.
But I think that's why I didn't, because I wanted something different. And I've been into pinky tones lately.
I will say that the picture online is a little deceiving with this specific palette. This is like a champagne toffee-ish color, I would say. And online it definitely looks more chartreuse. I don't know if it's like the lighting and like the white background.
Or the way it catches the light when it's being photographed or something.
Yeah, it might be that. But even on the eyelid, it definitely doesn't look that way.
No, it definitely just looks champagne.
Yeah, it looks like kind of like coffee ice cream.
Yeah. Would you say that's a bad color, or it's just not?
It's not my favorite. Like it's okay. It has nice blendability. It's not really metallic like the rest of it.
More subtle.
It's just like a satin, and it's like just an okay color. Like I thought it was. What drew me to the palette was originally that shade. And so that was kind of a letdown for me, I would say. So don't be upset if that's the color that draws you in, because it's not what it looks like when you open the packaging. And this gold, the thing about this gold, I feel like it is different than a lot of other just like metallic-y golds. I feel like it's more rich. And like looking at it in the pan, you can tell like
it's like a deeper gold.
Yeah. And the way that it reflects in the light, it's definitely that way when it's on your eyes. But it is definitely a nice lid color, and it blends very nicely. Not really sure, probably rose gold.
Like a rose gold, yeah. I would say.
It was okay. I mean, it was it's like any other rose gold color. Like it tends to be a popular color to make as a metallic. It was kind of just like all the other ones, but it was very nice. And I would say my favorite would have to be in this row is that purple color, because I don't have anything like it. Not that I tend to reach out for colors like that, but like I haven't seen anything like it, and I think that specific color out of the whole entire palette blends the easiest. And you can make it really dark and pigmented, or you can make it really light, and it stays on. And then coming to the bottom matte row, you have like a transition color, or you could even do that on the lid if you'd like. This color is kind of very universal, and I really like that about that color. Not a huge fan of the white. It's not complete white. I would say that it's like skin tone color.
Skin tone to some.
Skin tone, yeah. I would say like it's like vanilla bean. if you will. It's not like white, but it's not like completely.
It doesn't have a ton of pigment.
Yeah, but the thing is it doesn't really blend well. I don't feel like darker skin tones will really use it either, and I feel like lighter skin tones won't really use it either. I feel like it's not like a hugely used color, so I feel like they could have probably done like a different lighter color that would have been more friendly towards all skin colors. This dark brown is very rich, like it kind of reminds me of like chocolate, and it's delicious, and it is very nice and very easy to blend as well.
That looks pretty. I like that color.
It is really nice. Has like a wine tone to it, kind of.
Almost a red-ish tone.
I like you. And I just feel like this is just like your ordinary brown. I'm not dissing the palette in any way. It is a really nice palette. I really like the packaging. It's just, there was just a few colors that I feel like could have been tweaked a little bit.
In my opinion, it looks like a good everyday palette for most people. So, I mean, that's definitely a plus, because if you do pay the amount of money that these cost,
you're going to use it every day.
You can use it every day.
I have worn it to work, and I don't typically wear like a ton of makeup to work.
Very work appropriate, office appropriate.
And whenever I wear it, people compliment me.
Yeah. It's definitely not a bad palette, you would say. Okay, so this is the Petit Pro 2, and this is the one I picked up. Now, the bottom row is the mattes. I have to say the one that jumps out at me most is that bright peachy color, and that's what drew me to the palette initially. That's a extremely beautiful color. It blends out really well, and I love to use it as the transition. And when I go to this palette, that's the color that I go for. This really light shade at the edge right there, I really liked for a transition color, because it definitely has more pigment than the one that was in your palette.
I wish that one was in mine.
Because it definitely has that peachy tone, which is why I get why it's in this palette, but it's perfect for me for a transition. But I think it'd also be good for people who have deeper skin tones. They could use it as like a highlighting color or a really light lid shade. So I like those. Those are probably my most used out of this palette. And then the brown is just, I mean, like any other brown.
Similar to my brown.
Yeah, it has a little bit more like peach in there, I want to say. But it's just pretty much a brown. And then the purple I extremely like to use like in the outer corner, in the outer V. It's surprisingly really blendable and pigmented for a purple shadow, which
most purple shadows I feel are really
they're hard to formulate most times, I feel like. And in this palette, it works really well, and you can definitely tell it's a purple when you have it on your eye, which I really appreciate, because a lot of the time they blend out to like kind of look like a black kind of, but that one definitely has a lot of purple pigment into it. And then the top four are the shimmery shades or the metallic shades in this palette. I really liked this one. It was a really beautiful lid shade that I used a lot of the time. And then these two are a little deeper, so I didn't use them as much, and I don't feel like they're like everyday colors for a lot of people, but they're definitely very beautiful. This one's more of like an eggplant, and then this one's more of like a berry, I would say.
You could like make it fade out into that.
You could use all of them on your lid pretty much. You could fade them all into each other, which I did do one day, just to see if they would all work together, and they actually do. So it's funny you mention that, but and then this one I like too as just a all over lid color.
It's like a ballerina pink, but with more purple.
Yeah, it's like a icy lavender kind of.
Icy lavender.
I think all the colors work really good together, and I'm quite happy with my palette. They all blend really well. They're all really pigmented. The only thing I would say is, for me personally, I would like the shimmery metallic shades to be a little bit more poppy. On the eyelid, I would use like a Fix Plus with them, but that's just me. They're perfectly fine on their own, but to amp up the volume, or pump up the jam, pump up the lid color, I do use Fix Plus. I have heard that VISEART mattes are where to go, so I can definitely see that.
I honestly didn't think that I was going to fall in love with the mattes more, because I usually prefer
it's
shimmers.
Usually like the shiny shades that you're like, ooh,
because I'm like,
they're not bad.
No, but I'm like, I totally fell in love with their mattes.
Their mattes, I mean, people don't lie when they say their mattes are great, because they are. Now, do we think that it is priced correctly for what you get?
Sorry, I didn't even let you get it out because my thoughts. No.
Am I upset? No.
No, because I honestly will use it. It's not like a naked palette where like I buy it, I get excited about it, and then I put it away.
I think the thing about that is too, it's like the naked palettes have so many more colors, so a lot more of them you don't use.
Travel friendly either. Even like the bigger palettes of these, I feel like even the packaging looks a lot.
I mean, it's meant to travel because it's for like makeup artists. So like I get that. I get that.
So like I feel like because it's easier to travel and it's not as bulky.
I mean, it's not like a thick cardboard.
But my thing is I travel with my makeup often.
Also, a bigger palette, you have more of a risk of not using all the shades. And I feel like this is the perfect amount of shades, and they also put in shades that you would want to use together.
Correct.
So I think the palettes are curated well, and I don't think the pan size necessarily has to do with the price either, because I personally don't go through my makeup like that.
No, me either.
Maybe a makeup artist would. I just don't know if it's worth it for everybody.
No. Am I mad I spent $30? No.
I'm not either. Can I see where some people would say, I can't spend that amount of money on that palette for whatever reason? I could understand that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the cheapest VISEART palettes, so I would say if you definitely want to try them, I would go with this.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Any of these. For us personally, we wanted to try out the brand more than have more quantity of product. So for us, it works. And for the purpose of getting it, trying it, reviewing it, and also using it, in my opinion, with my palette, I will use it, and I do like it, and I'm happy I got it.
I am happy I got it, even though I was disappointed in that one shade.
But I think you'll still use it. And I think it's good for your work environment. So.
Yeah, where like a chartreuse wouldn't be really good for a work environment.
Right.
You know.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I feel like it is worth it, and I'm not mad.
So if you like the colors in the Petite 1 or the Petite 2, I mean, I would pick it up. If you have the money and it's not an issue for you and you don't go through your makeup a ton, or you need a good travel palette or a good work palette, you know, you can pick and choose. So after that, that finishes our review of the VISEART Petit Pro 1 and 2. I hope you enjoyed, and also we hope that you found it helpful, because that was the whole point of this. Have you tried any VISEART shadows? Leave that as a comment down below.
And if so, which one? Because maybe, just maybe,
we will pick it up.
Absolutely.
And tell your opinions.
Maybe. And give us a thumbs up.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel. And follow us on all our social media. They're all right here on the screen.
And until next time, see you real soon.
Bye.
Bye. I did a thing.
Oh my god, I didn't put a highlighter on. I need highlighter.
This is an emergency.
I need highlighter.
This is an emergency. Did I not cry about it for like...
I don't know if you cried about it.
I was like upset.
I didn't say you would cry about it.
I like whined about it for like a while. I feel like you're reading a book to me. Sally says...
Okay, so after that, that ends our review on Petite 1 Pro. No. So sorry, I need a moment.